There was a lot of uproar over the weekend, over last week towards the weekend, because Ebony magazine posted their cover, which was a picture of the Cosby show with Bill Cosby having cracked glass and like spreading, reverberating through the rest of the Cosby family. And people were up in arms. They were on Ebony's Facebook. I was looking at reading an article from Awesomely Lovey. What's up, Sophie? And people were like, I am boycotting Ebony. The Cosby show is sacred. I will never buy an Ebony magazine. All this and that. And Lovey made a good point. She was like, when the last time you bought Ebony magazine? And here's the thing. The people, we are not able to separate Bill Cosby from Cliff Huxtable. Cliff Huxtable is a fictional character on arguably the greatest black sitcom on television ever. Arguably one of the most important sitcoms ever. He had black crew, he had all that stuff. And I love the Cosby Show too. I love the way it represents black people. I love the family dynamic. I love that they weren't poor, that it spun off a different world, which made me want to go to college. I loved all of that. But what we really don't want to admit is that part of the reason that Bill Cosby got away with what he got away with for so long is because of Cliff Huxtable. And that's a point Lovey made. We didn't want to believe it. We did not want to believe that Bill Cosby was capable of that because Cliff Huxtable isn't capable of that. And as we can see, Bill Cosby is just an actor, just like everybody else. He is acting. And the two are not mutually exclusive. People are like, well, he did all this for the black community, and he donated money to college, and he did this and that, and he also raped women. Just because a drug dealer gives back to the poor don't mean he don't sell drugs. Pablo Escobar gave back to the community, and he also killed people. Those are not mutually exclusive. We don't be out here praising Pablo Escobar and Frank Lucas because they give some turkeys back to the community, because they also do bad things. And for some reason, we can't separate Bill Cosby from Cliff Huxtable. We be so surprised. I talk about this every time a celebrity does something. We be so surprised. Oh my gosh, Bill Cosby did what I would never have. He was America's dad. We don't know him. We don't know him. We ain't even met the man. And we really be about to give him a pass because he was Cliff Huxtable. There's a lot of people, even close friends of mine, who are just like, oh no, I still don't believe it. What would it take? What would it take? Video evidence? We're still saying allegedly. How are we still saying allegedly? Did y'all read the court documents? The man got as close to admitting it as he can. It ain't How is it alleged? How? The court documents, the world does forget about Woody Allen. He admitted it in court. There was a sealed deposition that came out. And he admitted it, and we're still like, alleged. And I get it, man. We always be like, well, the world's taking down our black heroes. And that's the man taking down the black man. No, this isn't that. This isn't that. This man admitted it in court in a sealed deposition. And we still like, nope, nope, nope. Yes, yes, yes. We don't want to admit it. Yeah, if he would have raped your family, it wouldn't be alleged. Like, what does it take? He's a bad person. And I don't like to say it. I grew up loving him just like everybody else. He did a lot of great things, but he also did a lot of bad things. And the reason the cover was so shocking is because it was the Cosby Show. And like I said, Lovey said this and I totally agree. The reason he probably got away with this and the reason it's so hard for a lot of people to agree is because the Cosby Show is sacred to us. The Cosby Show is sacred to us. We love and revere the Cosby Show, and rightfully so. Carlos said, but all these grandmothers talking about rape from 40 years ago, it took that long. You guys got to read more. There was a lot of times these people tried to come out and he sued them for libel and slander, and his lawyers shut people up. They settled out of court. They paid him. There was a lot of newspapers that were shut him down. It wasn't like people were just being quiet. He was out here paying people out, paying people off. So it wasn't like people were like, he raped me, he raped me, he raped me. And also, I've never been raped, but it don't seem like the easiest thing to admit. Especially, people don't believe it now. Imagine when he was doing it at the height of his career, the height of Cosby mania. Who gonna believe you? Who gonna believe that Cliff Huxtable did this? Not him. You're lying. We're gonna turn it on you, man. And then they're going out of their way. And look, man, ain't nobody gonna believe you. They don't believe him now. There could be video evidence and people still wouldn't believe. The white dude was like, I was the one paying the people off. And people was like, nah. What else do we need? No, that's what I'm telling you. The mania was, Bill Cosby has been revered for 30 years. Yeah, forgive Cosby and be different, but don't be oblivious to plain truth. And I'm not saying he is not, I'm not even talking about sin, or I'm just talking about the fact that people don't even want to believe it because of Cliff Huxtable. 43 people are lying, 40 plus women are lying with the same story, with the guy saying I'm the one who paid him off. Everybody lying. All the people. Even though Bill admitted it in sealed deposition, he's lying. He's lying at his admittance. Even when he admitted that he was lying, somebody got to be telling the truth. Once the deposition came out, I was like, come on, man. Come on. We gotta do something. It's tough. It's tough for us all. But come on, man. How do you have an issue with some of these women? I have difficulty understanding that. A lot of people say that, and I have difficulty understanding it. How? How do you have issue with these women? Leo, read the deposition. He admitted to drugging women. That's what he read that's what he admitted to in the deposition. Do I think the Cosby Show should be off the air? No. I think the Cosby Show is still a television show. It's still a good show. Don't believe everything the media feeds you. The media is not a court deposition. There's a court deposition that I read where he admitted to it. I'm talking about the court deposition. I'm not talking about the media. I'm talking about the court deposition. He talked about it in Spanish Fly. He did. This is probably why the way people react now is why women just be like, I'm not about to say nothing. I thought he said that they're aware of the drugs and consented to. How can you consent to someone drugging you for sex? How? I don't think you can consent to someone drugging you for sex. Like, yeah, man, you could knock me out and then have sex with me. I consent to that. What? What? How can you consent to that? That don't even make sense. They should have spoke up at the time it happened. They did. They did. But he had money, power, lawyers. Do y'all see? Money and power and lawyers and intimidation and fear will shut people up. I think we are underestimating the amount of power that money had. People didn't believe them then. People don't believe them now. There was news articles that were shut down, all that type of stuff. What do you want them to do? Oh, I'm not leaving the cause alone. Why settle out of court? I'll never understand. No money would be enough. Look, man, if you're not going to get nothing... Look, the one thing I do understand is if somebody says, if you go, I'll destroy you. And I can. Or you can just take this money and nobody ever has to know. If nobody's going to believe you anyway and the media's going to crucify you and you're going to be the one who took down our beloved Bill Cosby, you know what? I might not want to deal with that. That's not that far-fetched for me. Remember Clarence Thomas and Anita something? What'd they do to her? Here's the girl's decision. Take the money and shut up or deal with Cosby and the media shredding you. Yes. Why is the show called The Cosby Show? The last name is the Huxtable because it was Bill Cosby's show. Anita Hill, that was her name. Look what we did to her. Destroyed her. There are certain women I don't believe, but when you admit to drugging women, yeah, guys, come on. Come on. Women always get destroyed in the process. That's the first thing they do in a rape case. These comments alone are why women wait to come forward. I agree. Cynthia, how do you feel bad for Bill Cosby? I don't feel bad for Bill Cosby. I don't. I respect his work as The Cosby Show. I respect for black community, all the stuff he did. But I don't feel bad for Bill Cosby. Rennie Tuesday says the cover was not good. The artistic department should have considered the other actors. I think the cover was good. The glass didn't crack through the other actors' faces. But if you were on a show with Bill Cosby, you're tied to him. You're irrevocably tied to him. What about when Jerry Sandusky raped those kids in Penn State? Do we feel bad for him? He was a good coach. He did a lot of good things. He helped a lot of people. And he also raped some kids. Do we feel bad for Jerry Sandusky? No. We want him to go to jail and rot in there. I don't feel bad for Bill. I don't feel bad for Jerry Sandusky. They do have something to do with him, though. That's the thing. People are saying that they don't have nothing to do with him. They're tied to the show. They're tied to the show. If you're on the Martin show, yeah, guilt by association. You're on the Martin show and Martin and Gina can't get it together and the show's canceled, you suffer because of that. It has nothing to do with you. But you suffer. So that's the same thing, the way the Cosby people on the show suffer. That's how it is. It's unfortunate for them, but that's how life is. If I lose my job, my entire family suffers. If I go out and ruin my family's name, if I rob a bank or shoot somebody or whatever, my whole family suffers. Melissa, Zay, JoJo, Playmakers. If I do something dumb and cuss somebody out on Instagram or get caught in a sex tape, people might not book the whole Playmakers because of that. Even though Jay and Ant can be completely without sin. They couldn't do anything. But they're going to suffer because of my actions. Playmakers won't get booked because of the way I acted. That's unfortunate, but that's the truth. Same thing for Jay. If Jay acts up, they won't book me because I'm associated with him. If Ant acts up, they won't book me and Jay. We're all tied. Hey, archery lover, we try to use wholesome language for the children. I just want to know, what would it take for people to finally be like, okay, Bill Cosby, I don't like it. It's okay, archery lover. I don't mention it that time. It's all right. Okay, Gardner, I said this before. It didn't take 30 years to come out. People spoke up before and they were shut down. So it wasn't like nobody said anything ever. And yeah. It's been out. Nobody listened. That's the thing. What's up, Blair Monique? People tried to come out with it. We were young. I was young. Woman told the same story. There was news articles about it. They were shut down because he had money and fear. He kept paying them off. I don't know if anybody got pregnant. They could have probably got pregnant and got an abortion. The first court deposition was in 2007. Why did it take so many years for the outrage? I don't even think there's full outrage. It came out in the 90s, just like Walter DeShield said. We didn't want to believe it. I don't remember hearing about it. Yeah, he might not get any sympathy. Here's the thing. I can still think he did a lot for the community and still think he was a rapist. It's not mutually exclusive. We want the world to be black and white, and the world is gray. You can be a good person who does bad things and a bad person who does good things. He could help the black community and break records and change the game for sitcoms, and he can also be a criminal. Their accusations were well before the 90s, yes. The world ain't black and white, man. A good person can make one mistake. A good person can make 50 mistakes. Yeah, Joe Paterno. He ain't even the guy who did the molestation, but it's hard for us to believe he didn't know about what Jerry Sandusky was doing. Camille has a lot to do with how we view Bill. She believes he cheated, not raped. But that is true. And I love Coach Paterno too. Joe Paterno was one of my favorite coaches. But if that happens under your watch, you take some of the blame for that. And that's the same thing that happened to the Cosby people. Did Joe Pa know? Maybe not. Maybe. I have a hard time believing he didn't know. I have a hard time believing Joe Paterno didn't know anything. But maybe maybe he didn't. Camille ain't no good. I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about Camille. I didn't know Tina. Did y'all want Ebony to protect the good? I didn't know what Tina Fey did. I don't remember Tina Fey doing anything. Folks still listen to Chris Brown, go to R. Kelly concerts. Yeah, R. Kelly was out here peeing on children on tape. And all we cared about was the Chocolate Factory. I never was a big R. Kelly fan like that anyway. He peed on an underage minor. And we were like, yeah, but that Chocolate Factory 12 play. The more talented you are, the more people will let you get away with. The more talented you are, the more people will let you get away with. It's always been like that. The bigger you are, the more people are like, oh, well, he's just good at that. Well, boys will be boys. Just like football players can get away with stuff that a baseball player wouldn't get away with. Oh, Pee Wee Herman was in that meat. Mayweather, he went to jail though. Social diva, he did his time. Michael Vick will never be forgiven by people. I had this argument with somebody at my job about Michael Vick. James Brown, oh yeah. Pee Wee wasn't bothering nobody. He wasn't. Don't be mad at others because you're not outraged. Stop defending people that are in the wrong. Ray Rice, done for. It's mostly blacks that aren't forgiven. I don't know if I agree with that. They're not. Jerry Sandusky and Joe Paterno died pretty much right after that. Adrian Peterson was beating his kids Yeah, I was talking to somebody at my job about Michael Vick. Ben Roethlisberger was raping people. Bathroom Ben? Is he still out here? Why is Cosby not charged? Just read a deposition. Because all this stuff is has passed the statute of limitations. It's too late. Most crimes have a 7 to 10 year period. If you're not charged and it's somewhere settled out of court. So he can't go to jail. Big Ben been on the field. Still. So, all right, guys. I don't know how you feel. Here's what I like to do on Periscope. I like to say how I feel. I don't want to sugarcoat things. I don't want to say the common thought. Periscope and all my social medias is where I be really like saying how I feel. And it's okay if we don't agree. It's okay if we don't agree. As long as we're respectful of each other when we don't agree. Kobe Bryant settled out of court. Subway's still fresh. Jared ain't getting forgiven. He was out here molesting kids. I don't feel bad for Jared for Subway. I hope he goes to jail for a long time. There's been plenty of disrespect because of disagreement. I think we should be able to disagree without disrespecting. How do I scope and drive? I have a thing. Affairs are not abuse and rape. Exactly. I agree with that. Yeah, I would watch a documentary. Now, Tiger Woods is done. Tiger Woods is different. Well, here's what it is about Tiger Woods. There's a lot of athletes who've had an affair on their wife, and people didn't care. The reason Tiger Woods got it so bad is because his actions didn't match the image that he sold us. He sold us the perfect white teeth guy who's perfect and all that type of stuff, and then he cheated. And if Charles Barkley did that, or Magic Johnson, or, you know, even like Victor Cruz, nobody cares about that because they never sold themselves as America's, you know, perfect person. But Tiger Woods, he sold himself as America's perfect person. And that's why people were like, nope. And he called it an addiction. Yeah. So did Bill. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So did Bill. And that's why we believed it, man. We bought it, hook, line, and sinker. We still buying it. Image versus character, man. You're welcome. See, brand new. Did Steve Harvey really cheat for 20 years? I don't know for sure, but there's been whispers. If Tiger played football or basketball, no one would care. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I would agree with that. Yeah, I don't know if I agree. Is there a comment or a question? Comment or a question? Yeah, I agree. If he sold the same image, they would care regardless of sport. Oscar De La Hoya was out here too. I forgot about that. Vanessa Monk said, we don't know if any of this is true. There's a sealed deposition where Bill Cosby admitted to drugging women. So the part about him drugging women at least is true because he admitted to that. When you get off here, read the deposition. Read the deposition. And that probably won't even change your mind. But he admitted to drugging women. So I don't know how we can say that ain't true, and that's the media flipping it, because that was in court out of his mouth. So, sealed, but we found out. Oh, yeah. He was saying it was consensual. That ain't no kinky stuff. Kinky stuff is, let me put those gag balls in your mouth and tie your mouth closed, or let me, I don't know, I want to dress like a girl and you be the man, or I want you to hit me, or whatever. That's kinky. I want to drug you till you're unconscious and then have sex with you. That's not kinky. That's criminal. That ain't kinky. That crosses the line. That ain't no marriage bed. Vanessa, people say a lot of things under duress. What? 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 What are you talking about? People say a lot of things under duress. Yeah, I didn't want to believe it too. And I didn't come to this right away. The first time I heard it, I was like, I don't know. Second time, I don't know. 10. Can we just pray for Cosby Church? Can we hope he gave his life to the Lord? Yes, we can. We absolutely can. We should. But that's not what we're talking about. Today we're talking about the fact that Bill Cosby is not Cliff Huxtable. Do I remember they killed his son? Yes. Vanessa Monk. And that was tragic. And so was what he did. What does that mean? That's what I'm talking about. Yes, Bill Cosby's son died, and that was tragic. And also, he raped women. That's also tragic. They're not mutually exclusive. Just because his son died doesn't mean he has the freedom to give women quaaludes. Do y'all know what quaaludes are? Did you see Wolf of Wall Street? Quaaludes is what Leo DiCaprio was taking when he couldn't even walk. We're not talking about sipping Patron. That's not the same thing. It is not defamation to call Cosby a rapist. He admitted to drugging women and then having sex with them while they were unconscious. What is that? What is that called? Consensual sex means I am awake, I am clear, I am sober, I agree to have sex. If you get somebody drunk and have sex with them, that's not consent. How can you drug somebody until they are unconscious and have sex with them and still be consensual? My head's about to explode. What will it take for y'all? Bill Cosby could rape a person in here and they'd be like, he ain't raped me, I was consenting. I mean, that's how y'all sound. It sounds that's how bogus y'all sound. If he drugged you and then you woke up and you didn't decide to have sex and he had sex with you anyway, what do you call that? No, I did not say that was great. I didn't say it was great. I said the world's not black and white, the world is gray. I didn't say that was great. Cosby has never been convicted of court or law, so he could sue anybody who calls him a rapist. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. I can't. I don't know how to talk any more clearly about this. Like I said, agree to disagree. Boy, I don't. Woo! Black youth need the Cosby Show. Agree. The Cosby Show is not Bill Cosby, though. I mean, it's not Cliff Huxtable is not Bill Cosby. That's the point. Yeah, just because you're not convicted of a crime doesn't mean you're innocent of one. Whew. Like I said, the Cosby Show was a great thing for the community, and it still is. And Bill Cosby also was a criminal. Both things can be true at the same time. But I gotta go because I'm in the part of 405 where traffic's bad. I'll see y'all later on.